Okay, so there's some messages that I get from my divine creator, and they're cosmic messages, that I know that have been given to me from, very young age, a very small child. And I knew that something is coming, and I feel something is coming. Um and I've always known there was something that was wrong, even throughout my childhood, about how women are treated, how little girls are treated. Not saying that little boys don't have ill effects happen to them, because they most certainly do. Okay, especially the ones that are what people call star seeds, or people coming from, or children coming from different parts of the cosmos, different planets, and they come here because they're really sent here to make changes in the world. Because there are children like that, male and female, you know, that come in, they incarnate little boys and little girls. So it does happen to little boys as well. However, but always knew that the system structure was very geared towards being anti women or little girls from a very young age. I always knew this. I knew this through how one, or however you want to put it, watching things be constructed or done in my own family. How my mom treated her sons as opposed to her daughter. Well, me, not, And I've seen other little girls go through similar things in their family structures. There are families that are changing. They're starting to value their daughters a little bit more, but the ill effects that are happening, they're happening in this world right now. I don't see how it can recover and rebound. I really don't. You have men or scientists that are trying to literally create artificial wombs to put their seeds in, to create, I mean, I can't even describe how dysfunctional and how out of balance and how out of order and how out of natural realm they've been doing. Anything that can go against what the divine creator has put on, or put into the universe and put on this earth, it's like anything that can counterbalance what is in the natural order or realm of things. This structure, this patriarchal structure, is actually trying to create. I watched a commercial where, and I've experienced divine energy or hugs from the divine creator and or Holy Spirit, or whatever you want to call that being that comforts, that is described in the Bible as the comforter. I've experienced that on in my lowest point in life twice. The lowest point that I could have ever experienced something, that comforter came to me. One was when I was pregnant with my oldest daughter, and I was a young girl. Not that young. I was 17. But I was pregnant with her, and I was in a state of depression and desperation and confusion, and I was in a bad place, because I was really relying on myself, because I had entities against me that, and when I say entities, I don't want to get into the whole description of it, but mainly when you have family members that are used by certain forces, as well as your extended family, as well as the universe. Okay? So I've experienced that, and I was comforted by that spirit. A second time was when I was in bed with my daughter, my youngest daughter's dad, and I felt the most loneliest feeling come over me. I felt desperate. I felt so alone, even though there was somebody laying right there. That person wasn't, the substance that was given to me by that person was nothing. There was nothing there. There was absolutely nothing that would make you feel comfort from that person. I went into the bathroom of the apartment that I lived in at that moment, and I cried on the bathroom floor. I was desperate. I had desperate feelings. I won't even tell you what, the catalyst that got to that point from that moment before that, because there was violence, there was a whole bunch of stuff. Anyways, I went and I cried on the bathroom floor, and again, that Holy Spirit or that divine energy from the cosmos came and wrapped my whole being up and comforted me with the most extreme, powerful hug, energy, and comforting me, and was speaking to me. And that was the second time. That was the second time I hit the lowest point in my life. And now they have an actual artificial so-called hugging spirit that is, this is where I'm telling you there's so much corruption. So somebody on the other end of a voice call or a FaceTime call can push a button, and it's some little coat or jacket that you put on somebody, and quote unquote it's supposed to comfort them and make them feel the other person. Do you know how warped that is? Do you know how out of natural balance that is? I mean, I wish somebody could see through my eyes what I'm explaining, how defiling that energy in the cosmos is. When we talk about black women being smacked in the face and disrespected, they are the direct descendant from the divine creator. Okay? And when you do that to them, and this hug, this is like a smack in the face to the natural order of the feminine balance of that comforter, that Holy Spirit that is described of in the Bible. It's a smack in the face. Very similar, very, very similar to what this society does to black women. And not just black women. I know it happens to all women, and I hope that all women don't feel I'm not thinking that this does not happen to them. However, on a very grander scale, a much, much grander scale, it is happening to black women. And I wish that women in general, as a whole, could really, really just take the blinders off and really pay attention to what is happening. So, the next thing that was given to me today, so I just described that, and there's other unnatural things that are happening. Are some technologies good? Yes, they are. Are they a benefit? Yes. However, you can't get the type of comforts you need from a electronic straitjacket, okay? I'm sorry. I don't care what they're trying to push. That's like an emotional dope dealer. That's what that is. That vest is an emotional dope dealer. You can't. It's not going to do the trick. Okay. That's one thing. But this type of disrespect that has been happening, like trafficking women and using them as sex slaves. Okay, yes, it's happened throughout history. However, does it need to continue to happen? No, it doesn't. However, it is going above and beyond the bounds of what has happened, and to the greatest scale that it has ever happened before. This disrespect towards women. I really hope things start changing, because the way that I see things happening, because with this artificial womb thing, and they're actually getting it to the point where they have started to make it really difficult for women to actually get pregnant. So there's something going on, something that's biochemically engineered preventing women to naturally give birth or to get pregnant. And then when they do get pregnant, because of the way that the medical structure is set up, there's no real fulfillment for women in natural birthing. And there is this push to get a woman in and out through childbirth. And if she can't have that baby within 3 to 4 hours, she's going to get a C-section. Okay, they're not taking the time with women in childbirthing and medical care. It's not happening. And I hate to say this, but it is the facts and it's the truth that Black women have the worst medical care. They have the absolute worst care in hospitals. And when it comes to being cared for through their pregnancy, again, the worst care. Black women are dying just birthing children. I mean, I want to go into so many details and so many different avenues and aspects and directions with what I'm saying, because there's so many. There's so many points to get across. And then when you have men sitting here faulting women for everything, mainly Black women, for every wrong that happens, not taking an accountability as a man, not protecting, not shielding, but accusing and abusing. You have men running out here. I don't know how many videos I watched, news clip videos, where just random Black women are being murdered in the streets by random men because of their anger issues. It's going to get to the point where the divine creator is going to allow that creation, the female creation, to just not be here anymore. And I'm not talking about right away, but we're talking about 20 or 30 years from now. It's going to get to the point where if men don't correct what they're doing wrong, and they don't get back in touch with the divine creator, because they are so out of touch and they are so not connected to the divine creator at all anymore. And it doesn't matter what race they are. If they don't start to get themselves back in accord and in correction and get self-corrected, not to say women don't need to be corrected too, they do. However, women are taking more steps in correcting themselves than men are. And if they don't, I can hear what the divine creator is telling me. You know, people talk about the apocalypse, and they talk about in Revelation, you know, the coming and this and that. I don't think they fully understand what's going to bring that about. That type of destruction happens. It happens when the divine creator cannot get through to the people. When the divine creator, when there's a cutoff, there's a disconnect, when there's nothing that these people can connect back with the divine creator, and you have to be in some type of accord with the divine creator for the divine creator to be able to communicate with you. You have to be in some kind of accord with them, with the beings, with the divine entities that are out there in the universe. And when you're totally disconnected, that's what's going to bring about this annihilation. That's what's going to bring about this total reset. And I'm not talking about America collapsing, because it's going to happen too. That's not the kind of reset I'm talking about. I'm talking about a global reset. I'm talking about starting from scratch. The divine creator has the ability to take every single human being off the face of the earth and make them powder dust. You know, like the scriptures say, from dust you come, so dust you shall return. It's not even a thing. It's a snap of a finger for the divine creator to get rid of every single human being on this earth. And I'm not talking about something that man-made is man-made and created, like that fake hug vest. I'm talking about the real deal thing. It's not anything for the divine creator to just wipe everything out and start from scratch. To wipe all the legacies. There are good things in this world. I know this because I listen to music. I see things. I see the natural realm. I see love. I see devotion in certain people. But just a few handful of people cannot make the world worth saving for the divine. There has to be a lot more people. And the way I see, especially on social media, I don't see it being worthy to save. I don't see where the divine creator is going to save everything. There's not enough people in accord. There's not enough people that are awake and in touch. There's not enough people reaching back for the divine creator. Not enough. And I'm sad to say it, but I feel like all the prophecies that I have had as a small child, and I've had a lot of prophecies, I still remember. I don't talk about them. But I feel it, and I can see it being fulfilled. I'm sorry, but that is my message, and it was given to me today. It was given to me about probably maybe 12 o'clock, and it kept laying on my mind for about 4 hours. And I was not in a good mood. Because it doesn't matter how many times we, especially women, are reaching out to try to awaken people. Because I know a lot of women on social media that are very, very, very much in tune with the divine creator. Very much connected, even if they're not speaking on it, how much they're connected. I can see it. I can see the connection. Because what they're talking about is the messages that the divine creator has been giving me to speak out on. Men want to be leaders, right? They want to be able to be, head of their homes or head of their households. But how can you be when you are so far out of accord, so far unreachable, so far disconnected from the divine creator, so far disconnected from what is the natural order of things? How can you possibly lead? And why would the divine creator expect women to subjugate themselves unto that type of dysfunctional disorder? I'm not feeling good about the future of humanity. I'm not. There have been so many star seeds. There have been so many beings that have come into this world trying to make changes. And when they come to try to make changes, they get raped, abused, neglected as children. And the few of those star seeds that actually get nurtured in the proper capability to fulfill their purpose, there's not that many. There's not that many in the whole scheme of things. I really wish people, especially men on social media and all over, and women too. I'm hearing these women be so hateful and so spiteful about other women. Like, I mean, I say a couple things, okay? But that's in correction. I don't hate the people that I'm speaking of. And I really, honestly, As much as Will went up and smacked Chris, I wish I could smack them dumb bitches. Because they're dumb bitches. I just cannot understand where women can't understand other women's divinity. It baffles my mind. It baffles my mind that they cannot see other women and purpose and go with the status quo. I don't know what I can tell the women that are out there aside from just try to stay strong. Like I don't know the ones that are connected to the divine creator. I know you're getting messages already, and hopefully you're getting some kind of comfort, Holy Spirit comfort. I hope that you are, because it's going to be a rough road in the next 20 to 30 years. It's going to get so difficult. And it's not because, you know, I know these men wish so much ill upon you women, and myself included. But they're going to be the ones that truly suffer at the end, because they're going to know when their demise and their destruction comes. They're trying to make what demise and destruction towards women happen by their hand. However, there's something above them. They're not acknowledging it. They don't acknowledge the divine creator, but when that divine creator comes back with his her as a universal entity, male and female, divine creation, come back and destroy them, they're going to know it's by the hand of the divine creator. There's not going to be a question of whether man set off a nuclear bomb. It's not going to be that. There's not going to be a question of where this energy is coming from that is going to destroy them. It's going to be so blatantly in their face. And it's coming.